Hey, Jeremy Slate, CEO and founder of Command Your Brand and host of a podcast called the Create Your Own Life Show since 2015. I've recorded almost 1,100 episodes since that time. Actually, over 1,100 episodes since that time. But anyway, one of the biggest questions I get is about what recording software I've used. And as I mentioned, I've been doing this for about 8 years, and I've used a lot of different recording softwares. When we first started, we were an audio-only show, and we did recording using Call Recorder back in the day on Skype, which I really don't recommend using. It's rough for, at least it was rough for recording video. Once again, I can't speak to all of these in present time because, the one I've been using, which I'm going to tell you about in a second, I've been using for well over 2 years now. So I know they've make a lot of changes and leaps and bounds, but I want to tell you what I've tried, what's worked for me. We had switched to Zoom about 3 years ago, and we switched to a video show. And the thing I don't like about Zoom is it turns down the video quality a little bit and it turns down the audio quality a little bit. And as well, if there's a bad internet day for either one of you, chances are you're going to capture some bad video on one side. And also, if you do use Zoom, which I don't recommend you do, make sure you're recording to the computer and not to the cloud, because you will see your video quality go down that way as well. But anyway, I don't recommend it for that. I don't like the audio quality and the video quality. It turns down slightly. It's great for meetings, and we use it for all of our meetings. But for recording actual interviews, I don't like it for that perspective. Sometimes I will use it if somebody's having problems with their computer, whatever it may be, because the software I use requires you to have Google Chrome, and not every single person in the world uses it. I will tell you, 1 out of every 20 interviews asks me to use Zoom, which we do. I don't prefer, but hey, sometimes famous people are a little bit touchy about the softwares I use. Anyway, so I used Zoom for a bit, and it allowed us to start capturing some video, which was better than Skype. We had switched then to Squadcast, and at the time, it wasn't, or we actually switched to Zencaster first, and that was my first time experiencing audio that actually records natively on each device and uploads to the cloud, which is really helpful. And we really wanted video, so I moved to Squadcast, and I used that for a bit. And the thing I liked is that I could see my guests now, which I couldn't on Zencaster. I believe you can now, but the thing I have seen, even as a guest in present time on Zencaster, is the software seems to be really slow. And this is in the last couple times that I've used it. So I moved to Squadcast about 2 years ago or so, and I kept waiting for video. It just wasn't there yet. And I had seen an ad for Riverside FM, which is what I actually use now. And I will say, shout out to the guys at Squadcast, as they did add video a little bit later on, but at the time it just wasn't there for me. So I ended up switching to Riverside FM, and that's been a game changer for us, because what actually happens is when you're on Riverside with somebody, it records natively on each device and uploads to the cloud. So it's recording your audio and video actually in your space. So when you're going to see each other over the internet, you're actually going to see it in lower quality. I think you see it in like 480p or something like that, or looks like it says here 720p actually is what you're seeing now. And it actually records for us in 1080p. I know a lot of people are like, oh, could you do 4K, whatever? Sure, you could, but the thing you will see is your file upload time is going to be astronomical. It's going to be a real pain in the butt. So the way that this software works is it progressively uploads throughout the interview. So usually, unless the person's internet speed is slow, you're going to get to the end of the interview and it's going to say 100% complete, or it's going to tell them to finish. So if the person doesn't finish the upload, what you can tell them is, hey, I'm going to close this room and I'm going to leave it to finish uploading on your side. And they'll usually say, cool, I'll leave my computer open, I'll do it. If they happen to close their computer and it's not done, you can just go to riverside.fm/upload. And that's been really cool. But it's been a game changer for us because we've really upped the quality of the videos that we've been able to produce. Now, in terms of like what we do in our process from here, we used to do all of our editing in Adobe Audition, and we've changed it slightly recently because, let me share my screen with you guys. All right. So we changed things recently because Riverside actually added a really, really cool feature that you can edit your videos right on Riverside. Let me go to a previous interview here. Here's Matt and myself, and you can go to the editor. You can actually edit this entire video right in the app, and you can also like one of the things we like to do is we're very light on the editing. So you can actually do an edit find, and we usually say the producer's name. So you can look for the producer's name then in the actual interview, which is helpful. So you can pop these out pretty quickly. You can cut things. We tend to do not much and just add a sound bumper in the beginning, sound bumper at the end. So that's been cool. And then they have added features where you can do like teaser clips and stuff like that in the app. So you'll see here, it pulled some for me. We've been using a different software because I like it a little bit better. Maybe at some point we're doing it in Riverside. At the moment, we're not. So then we actually use this software called video.ai, pop the videos in, and then it creates different types of what are called chapters, which are what we use on YouTube, and it'll create different types of shorts. So anyway, that is what we use for all of our recording and a little bit of what we do with the files after. Hope you found that helpful. So once again, the software that we use is Riverside.fm. For our repurposing, we've been using video.ai. So I hope that helps. Once again, Jeremy Slate here. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and give us a thumbs up if you're liking this one, and share us with your family and friends to help us make a bigger impact out there. Have a great rest of your day.